Hi, so it's cold outside today, and I think that's a basically a neutral statement to say that, it's cold outside today. But I think the words in there, and specifically the word cold, is not like a politically neutral thing. Uh, I did a reading on this and presented on it recently, and I've just been thinking about how cold has been kind of deployed throughout history, and how, obviously, like, white people were living in these temperate regions where, it was hot and then it was cold, and they kind of used this both and ability to I just 6'7", to harness like the power of cold and the power of heat. And then, they then kind of took this technology and brought it into the places they colonized that were more tropical. These cold technologies, like specifically ice being like the first technology where they would like bring it into, these tropical places. And yeah, I've been thinking about the different ways that cold is coded, and how it's really like, it's the ability to pick and choose. It's not the power imbalance, the political kind of struggle or political oppression, whatever you want to say, that occurs is not necessarily saying, well, I'm a cold person and you're a hot person, though that is definitely what happened, and that's what justified, like slavery, is saying, well, their bodies are more biologically dispositioned to being hot, so they're justified in working in these really hot tropical conditions. I am cold and they are hot. That is what happened, but that's not actually where the power in it lies. I think the power is that ability to pick and choose which applies to you, which applies to me at any given moment. I get to like control that slider, and then I get to take that away from other people, if that makes sense. I get to strip them of that agency, at least, if not just like in my own head, I get to strip them of that ability. Like, for example, like, I mean, we think of cold as a pretty universal good, and yet we don't want to be cold all the time. It's kind of like a tantalizing sort of like tease of like, yes, we all want cold, we all want ice water, we all want really cold water already that has ice in it. We want our water to be as cold as possible, but we don't want to be cold all the time. We want the cold to water to cool us in a kind of warm room temperature place. And I mean, it is ultimately all like room temperature, I guess. But I think it is that I'd almost say like perverse ability to be like, yes, but also no. Like I did something and my teacher says, oh, that's amazing. You did so amazing. And I say, yes, thank you. That was all me. I did that on purpose. Thank you. Or I do that exact same thing, and my teacher says, why'd you do that? That was terrible. And I say, oh, no, it was an accident. Like, I didn't mean to do that. It's just that sliding scale, moving goalpost ability.